What's up, y'all? I'm Mason Mangum. We're here with CB and Allie, and this is Behind the Number.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
You killed it.
You're hired.
Yeah. Kick him out. Kick him.
Yeah, his time is over.
His time's done.
New host in town.
New host. Mason, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so excited that you're here. So obviously, Carter and I like to start with the same old say. Carter knows everything about you pretty much.
Yeah.
So I have a decent amount of knowledge.
Yeah.
But this is obviously for people to get to know you and your story more deeply. But let's start with you being a transfer from Cal. Before we get into all that fun stuff, obviously you're here for a reason and you picked this place for a reason.
Yes.
What made you decide to choose A&M as your transfer school?
Yeah, I think there were kind of a lot of factors that went into it. At its core, my host basically was the first one I had.
You had to slide that in there,
I had a great host over here. But at the core, I think, for me coming home, being a Texas kid, coming home was really important to me. I have a family history at A&M. My grandpa was a professor here.
The street.
So cool.
Yeah, he was a graduate. He was in the Corps.
Yeah.
And I had a couple cousins come here as well. So I think, that was a big part of it is the family history and, the tradition of A&M is just so important. So to me, that was important as well. And then also the team was just felt right on my visit. And
Yeah, I had to deal with that little straggler over there for...
Exactly, yeah.
We had a great time. It worked.
I almost didn't
sure
come.
you guys-
He almost convinced me not to.
I'm sure you guys had a great time.
Yeah.
No
nice.
doubt.
Who
No
would've
doubt in
thought?
my mind. Okay, wait, Mason, but it's interesting because so you have ties to A&M, but you're also from Austin. So
Yes.
was there ever that weird battle between TU
For sure,
and...
right?
Yeah.
That was his last two schools.
Yeah, pretty much. I got down to it. I think it would have been nice to go home. Like part of that was pulling me there, but no, just being at home. But some at the end of the day, it just felt like home here, and
Nice.
in a different way, and also, it's always good to get new experiences and be somewhere else, and things just felt a little bit.
Yeah.
more
Well,
like home
and you're
here.
still close enough to go home.
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think-
It's
absolutely.
been good this year. You've been able to go home.
Yeah.
It has, yeah,
Parents still.
definitely.
I
That
mean,
was
from
a
what
big
you were
change
used to for
from-
4 years.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was once or twice a year
Yeah,
coming home.
yeah.
Which
I
is
got
so
to go.
crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, so let's kind of go back to you entering your collegiate career.
Yep.
You went to Cal Berkley.
But
Mhm.
Westlake High School
Westlake
state
High School.
champion.
Okay,
Yeah.
Westlake High
Yeah.
School state champ. Why didn't you wear your...
Yeah.
Your
Wayne.
Westlake.
Your Westlake.
champion shirt. Come on, you wear it all the
You're
time.
Fish that out of the
Sam.
closet
I was a
somewhere.
Sam.
We've been hanging out too long.
We've
this
been hanging
weekend.
out too much.
Sam.
Sam, come on. Sorry, Mason.
Because
Terrible
Mason
hosts.
wants to go to a track meet every single
Terrible
weekend
hosts.
now.
Yeah, gosh, he has to go and be successful.
Yeah. So selfish.
Gosh,
That's
so
fine.
selfish,
So
Mason.
selfish.
Okay.
Leave some time for us too, okay?
Jeez, Mason.
But
I think it's the other way around.
Whoa. No. Low key, probably more fair.
So, okay, let's talk Westlake High School state champ.
In football.
Yes, ma'am.
6'8".
In football, 6. That's big
That's
time.
ginormous.
Yes.
That's big
And he caught-
time.
Yes.
Caught a bomb touchdown.
So you just kind of started to give some hints into what we're about to talk about because not only is he a stud on the track,
Oh yeah.
he played
on that
football.
heat in that field.
a dual athlete. I think this is our
Yes.
first dual sport athlete to have on here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Yes.
Yeah.
Just talking
That's-
about first.
It's because that.
I mean,
yeah.
it's only episode 2. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, we've had a lot of people on here, and
We
they
have.
no dual sport. I
Yeah,
don't
no
think.
dual sport athletes.
Yeah,
So
That's a
Mason,
rare- that is a rare thing, though.
It
That
is.
is a very rare thing.
and to
At
be
the
able
D1
to be
level?
successful
Yeah.
in both.
Facts. What?
Mhm. Okay, so let's talk about that. You take yourself to California, Texas native.
Mhm.
Go to California.
I'm seventh generation
Wow.
Seventh
Look at you.
generation Texas native.
Texan. Yeah.
Son of the revolution.
His parents went
Something
to
like that.
Westlake, and
Mhm.
his dad was starting QB
Yep.
at Westlake. Met Mama. Yeah, his
Mhm.
parents are great. They're watching.
I
for
think you've
sure.
told me this story.
Yeah, they're great.
That's so
Yes.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's so
Very
cute.
That's
How
awesome.
does walking in the same? We've talked about this, but how does like walking in the same hallways doing the same stuff at high school that your mom and dad did. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Right?
no, I mean, it was really cool.
Nice.
Westlake is like definitely small town, little bubble.
That's cool,
You
bro.
know, similar to A&M, there's a lot of tradition and people
Yeah.
really respect and appreciate that kind of thing. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I love that.
Honey Ham Co.
Honeyham, that's the spot.
Okay,
That's the spot.
Honeyham Co.
Yes,
I'll have
Texas
to
Honeyham.
take a trip.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
Have to take a trip.
Yeah.
Well, if only I got invited. I'm kidding.
Why not? Yeah, you'll be waiting a while to go to Honey Ham Co. That's for sure.
It'd be nice.
We'll
Maybe.
just tell you about it.
Okay, but anyway, since Carter keeps trying to
Jeez.
distract us over here.
Please continue.
No, but let's talk about you being a dual sport athlete. Again, a rarity. That is not very common. I mean, it's a lot to just be in one sport and dedicate so much energy and time to that. But
Mhm.
doing that for two different sports and going to somewhere like Cal Berkley where
Very
the
rigorous.
education is incredibly intense and
Yeah,
rigorous.
absolutely.
So speak on that and what your experience was like being there.
Yeah. I mean, I think I feel very blessed that I was able to do that. Right. It's like you said, it's not common, and it's not. It was not easy for sure having to do both and always being in season. So you know, that's one
That
thing
is a
is
good point.
like
That's so true.
you know
Yeah.
always traveling no matter what season.
Dang,
so there's
you were
never
never in
like
off-season.
yeah, you can't really. There's no off season to like put maybe the hard classes or things like that. So that one's tough. But also just being able, you know, I always was super passionate about track. And in high school, more of, you know, all the recruiting kind of was on football. So, um, you know, I knew I wanted to do football, but I didn't want to give up my passion for track. And so
Nice.
being able to do both was definitely a blessing, and I feel really lucky to do that. Yeah.
How did, go ahead, Carter.
Did that kind of? Oh gosh, that's happened twice. Has this or has that pulled you away from some schools that were only gonna want you to do football?
Yeah. There were a couple schools that didn't actually have track at all.
Okay.
Oh, really?
So,
Okay.
So I kind of initially, you know, some schools that I wanted to go to,
Mhm.
they didn't have track, and so
Interesting.
I ended up kind of
Okay,
Xing
yeah.
them off the list.
That's what I was going to ask. So did they initially recruit you for football specifically and then
Yeah.
added track onto it?
Yeah, so I pretty much, as a condition of going, I kind of was like, hey, I want to run track, and
Nice.
Got it. Okay.
let's like from you know, you
That
kind
was
of have
almost
to
like
make
your
that clear
ultimatum.
at first, yeah, because
Okay.
if you don't, you know, football coaches kind of want you to be
Football.
so you have to
Mhm.
kind of make that clear at first, and then
That's cool.
but at the same time, I think, you know, track is also really beneficial to football.
I was about to say some
Mhm.
coaches probably didn't mind that. You
so,
go
yeah.
around the 60 in track, you can come back
Mhm.
faster in football.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's just, you know, always competing is never a bad thing.
Yeah,
So
true.
Yeah.
You stay in that mindset,
always
you don't have to get
developing
out
your
of it. Yeah,
competitive edge is
true.
a great thing.
Yeah. And you were a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go show us a route against Carter
Hung up the
1v1?
cleats. I don't
Yeah,
know.
let's play some more. We'll run some ones.
But when it comes, I feel like it's interesting because what did you say,
Oh,
Carter?
no, go ahead.
When it comes
distracting over
to,
here.
yeah.
What?
Yeah. Should we just
Ignore
like,
me.
We're having a
Just
real
ignore- Sorry, yeah,
conversation over
Jesus.
here.
You want me to leave or? Okay.
when it comes to being a receiver, I feel like it's fairly interesting because
Mhm.
obviously in what you do still need to be quick.
Mhm.
And you're jumping. We have
Yeah,
two little
absolutely.
jumpers, little jumpster beans over here.
Yep.
Little jumpster beans. But it's kind of interesting because I feel like
Jumpster
people would
beans.
more than likely go into running events as a receiver, no?
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what was
That's
that
probably more
like?
common.
Yeah. So what kind of was that like? Because I mean, there's similarities obviously,
Mhm.
but differences. So how did you have to like train yourself to be able to shift mindset to do both?
Yeah. That's a good question. I mean, I actually, you know, growing up, I never really sprinted. I was always a hurdler. And then
Hmm.
oftentimes like hurdling and jumping go hand in hand. So, you know, I didn't really start sprinting until later in my career. But I think at the same time for a long jump, especially, you know, speed is probably the most important
Mhm.
Yeah.
aspect of the
Yeah.
jump anyway. So
Yeah, if you're a long
Um,
jumper, you're probably a
You have
sprinter.
to be
If you're an
fast.
elite long jumper,
Mhm.
you could be a
you
sprinter.
got to be,
Yeah.
you have to be
Yeah.
pretty fast. So for that, I think just developing speed was always kind of the priority, and so, you know, it goes hand in hand with jumping.
Yeah. Did you have one that you liked more?
Like an event,
No,
a
a
sport.
sport.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I still had football eligibility. Um, I only have 1 year of track, but so for that, it was like when I was deciding what I wanted to do, if I wanted to stay, wanted to go somewhere new. Obviously, I decided to come here and focus on track. So
So does that answer that
I
question?
think, yeah.
Track. Okay.
How many years
Yeah.
of football? You had 3 left? 2?
I think. Oh man, I think 3 because I
That's
had
crazy.
injury, red shirt, COVID, regular red shirt. So
What was your injury?
tore my ACL.
Yeah, Al did the same thing.
I know we're in it together.
Look at us. We have.
Yeah.
Well, your knee's working just fine. So
It is. It is. Yeah, I was blessed. I had a
Do
really
you feel
great
like,
rehab.
yeah, you
man.
don't feel like
Yeah.
anything's taken backwards with
No,
it?
I mean, I actually, my first jump back, like literally the first jump after my rehab was a PR.
Really?
nice.
I tell everybody this. It sucks to have to go through being hurt,
Mm-hmm.
but low key, if you go through it at the right time, which there may never really be a right time, but
Yeah.
at a decent time where you still have time left, you low key may come back better because the
You-
rehab that you have to
absolutely.
do for a knee
Stronger
is
and
some
more
stuff
technical.
you'll never do unless you're in rehab.
Mhm.
Like the tiny jumps, tiny muscle groups you're starting to fire for the 1st
Mhm.
time. Like it helped me
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing that you tore it playing football.
I did, yeah.
Okay, I would assume.
Yeah.
Football and soccer are like the 2 most common sports
Mhm.
that.
Always cutting the grass. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's hard.
And
It was
landing
new,
when
we
you're
were
jumping.
in new turf. It was real
You were
thick.
at Notre Dame.
At Notre Dame, yeah. We had
Wow.
brand new. It was
What
really
year was
thick and
this?
good stuff.
Freshman or sophomore year?
I think I was a junior.
Okay,
Yeah,
junior.
it's
Okay, so like
beginning of
later.
my junior season.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So being that you were traveling really like year round,
Mhm.
was there any like locations that were your favorite to go to?
Oh man, yeah,
That's a good question.
yeah. Being in the Pac-12 was
Oh yeah.
we got to see a lot of great locations.
That's the prettiest conference.
Yeah,
by
that's
far.
so cool.
R.I.P.
So-
to Pac-12.
I know. yeah, really. I mean, there were a lot. The Pacific Northwest was great. Being in Seattle, Seattle's a really cool city, especially when we would go and it was nice. It's always raining, but
Yeah, it is rainy there all the time.
San Diego, we went there a few times. It's really nice.
Nice.
SoCal's nice and sunny. Yeah, a lot of good spots.
That's so fun.
for sure.
That's so unique. And to think like mad credit to you for being able to do that and also focus on school
Mhm.
because it's no easy task when you are in season, but there's even difficulties when you're in off season and
Yeah.
you're still
Oh,
like
for sure.
balancing everything.
For sure.
But for you
It's
to
never
be in
easy.
season all year round pretty much.
Mhm.
And then also let's not forget, I mean, you're at Cal Berkley.
Academically, tell us. Yeah, what'd you study?
Holy
Yeah,
cow.
I studied data science there.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So-
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy.
way to set
It's
the
good.
bar.
It was
Yeah.
it was fun. It was interesting
But you enjoy that,
content.
right?
Yeah, I really
So,
enjoyed
yeah.
it. It was
Yeah.
great.
So what did that look like? Data
Um,
science.
Yeah, a lot of
It's
data.
like-
Is kind of pulled into
just-
like a science of it. Pretty similar.
He nailed
You
it.
know,
He nailed
boom.
it.
I could have done. I should have done that.
Oh, jeez.
It's kind of like a little bit of a mix of math, statistics, and like computer
Sheesh.
science, kind of all just in a little mix.
Okay, what drove
like-
you to want to do that?
Yeah, good question. I enjoyed math.
Okay, that was it?
Yeah,
Plain and
pretty
simple.
much. I mean, I always enjoyed math, and so when I was looking for something, I was kind of
Interesting.
deciding between a few things. Yeah.
Would you say your love for tech, like, not necessarily just tech, but like
hmm
tech world, tech startups, tech companies, you know, that how that's kind of its own, it seems to be its own kind of category now,
Mhm.
especially in that region, you're in.
Yeah.
in the
No,
Bay.
definitely.
Do you feel like that grew being there? Or
Yes.
did you, yeah, I figured.
Yeah, I think I didn't really necessarily know
Yeah.
too much about that, but there's a huge culture
But what a world
um,
up there. That's pretty
of that
cool.
there. Yeah. So
Mhm.
that's also part of it is seeing what you see different places have different ideas of success, and so at Cal,
Most
like
definitely they do. Yeah.
definitely tech was kind of the golden ideal. So data science kind of fit within that.
That is- what a
within my
combo.
interests as well.
Yeah,
So
what a
Yeah,
combo.
that's
Mhm.
so cool.
Seems like it was a good spot for you, bro.
mhm.
That's really cool.
But in no better place to be, honestly, than the Bay for that. I mean, that seems.
Yeah.
The more you tell me about it, it seems
for sure.
perfect spot. Stanford, Cal. not to bring up Stanford. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Whoa,
Mason
Carter.
gets a
That's like
Yeah, I'm sorry. We shouldn't have. We cut
that's
that
like
out.
bringing up the school in Austin.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come on
Mason's
now.
pretty passionate
You should
about
learn this
I
by
am.
now.
I
This
am
is your
pretty
best friend.
No,
passionate.
I
Yeah.
do learn, and I do it on purpose. Actually, I do it on purpose.
You want to push his buttons.
He's pretty
Yeah, he
passionate
knows how to
about
rage bait me.
the golden
Yeah.
bears. What's
I
a
am.
golden bear?
Man, it's just a
Yeah,
A golden bear.
yeah. I haven't seen one.
It's like a
yet.
chocolate bear that's wrapped like in gold paper. You know?
Is that what it is?
No, I just
that-
think that was like a fun way to
no, it's just a
describe.
bear
Okay.
in the Golden State.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
that nailed
Fair
that
enough.
in
Yep.
the Golden State.
There you
Yep.
go.
Okay,
That actually did it.
that answered a lot of
I was trying to
questions.
say something back, but then you got me.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, okay, Mason. So obviously you were not foreign to Texas,
Mhm.
and obviously being near here, and you even said like Westlake was a smaller town high school.
Yeah, but yeah, small town, well, small bubble within
Small
a big
bubble.
city. But
yeah. Yeah, definitely. But when it comes to you being in California for 4 years,
Mhm.
very different than Texas.
Yes.
What was it like coming back here?
Yes. I would say I think you probably can't choose two more opposite schools.
Yeah, no.
Like, and in a lot of ways, they're kind of like just every single aspect
Opposite
of
end of
things
the
opposite.
spectrum.
Urban environment versus a little bit of smaller town feel.
Country.
Did you just put up?
I was supposed to be like this, like rock on.
Looked like a longhorn. That was interesting. All right. We'll let that slide.
Ooh.
Sorry, Mason. Continue.
Yeah, you have grace to give.
Yeah.
No.
yeah.
What?
Thanks, Mason.
Anyway, so, but yeah, still being a Texas kid. So I think Austin is like somewhere in the middle of them. So there was definitely an adjustment coming over here, and a lot of things were different. But
Mhm.
I think that's kind of what I wanted when I was coming here. Is I wanted to feel like I was getting new experiences, and I feel like a freshman all over again, kind of in a lot of ways.
Aw,
That's pretty cool.
So
that
yeah,
is
I
really
really
cool.
appreciated that kind of.
I'm
aspect
sure
of it.
you had an idea of what this place was like, though, being that you did have ties to it,
Mhm.
that you kind of knew, and even coming here and visiting,
Sure.
you do have an understanding for what your environment's going to be like for the next however long.
Mhm.
But it is very cool here because it is like more small town,
Mm.
but it's kind of fun to have that like experience for
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit to
It's small
Feel so
town, but
close
there's a
to
whole lot
everything.
going on,
Yeah,
a
I think
whole-
and it
yeah.
all
One of the
revolves around
things-
the school, basically.
But
Yeah.
think about how cool, like how close everything is.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
outside of this place, when you are in somewhere like Austin or California, everything is
Yeah.
everywhere.
This
Um,
is its own little spot for sure.
Oh,
mhm.
for sure. And one of the things about that is that, you kind of just know people more, right?
Yeah.
In a big city,
That's true.
it's like a lot of times you see people, you might never see them again.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Here it's like a little bit easier to make relationships quicker, and you kind of just know everyone. Things come
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
easier
Dive a
in
little
some
deeper,
good
yeah.
ways.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
what was that like for you because transferring has become so common in
Mhm.
college athletics where
For
it
sure.
used to not be, which is weird because if you think about like, I know when I came into school, I think like the portal started,
Whoa, she's dating herself.
Ooh, yeah, she's pretty old.
Whoa.
I'm a
Yeah.
year older than
The
you.
portal wasn't.
I don't think the portal was a thing.
Whoa.
I
They
know.
started broadcasting games her freshman year.
Whoa.
Yeah, it used to be motion
Have they invented the
pictures,
iPhone yet?
No.
flip phone recruiting. It was rough.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Crazy.
It was
They
rough.
landline recruiting.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was rough.
Sending letters
Yeah.
via pigeon.
Pigeon.
Yeah.
Pigeon recruiting. It's pretty old.
Crazy.
Yeah,
The
I'm pretty
stadium is
outdated.
named after
It's wild. Anyways, but when it when it comes to that, and COVID made things different because
Mhm.
then people had a fifth year. So
Yes,
not only do you
yes.
have people transferring throughout their career before they graduate,
facts.
you then have a lot
You
of
add a
people,
whole nother variable of a year. for
yes,
them,
who
too.
do
Yeah.
go and transfer for
Yeah, facts.
the additional time.
For sure.
Which in your case is what that looked like. What was it like coming here older
hmm
established in your career already, having
Mhm.
so much experience, and then looking to like form new relationships and friendships after
Yeah.
already having those established for so long somewhere else?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one of the things that kind of helped with that is, like you said, it's with the COVID fifth years and things like that. We actually kind of have a lot of fifth years.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
like probably more so than would have been normal.
Mm-hmm.
So in a lot of ways, I think there's definitely enough new faces on the team where I think there you sort of feel like not too much of an
Yeah,
outsider,
you weren't by yourself in that.
not
Really.
completely,
Yeah.
yeah. And then also the team was just really great about it. I mean, from the moment you stepped in um, around the track, felt like people were caring about you and
Sure.
ready to make new relationships. And I don't think there was really any trouble with that. People felt very welcoming, and I think that's just one of the things that's pretty special about our team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. About this
That we
place
really
too. If you have the
appreciate it.
jersey on, they'll support you first and ask questions later. Like they'll just A&M, like, okay, sweet, you're taken care of.
Hmm.
You're good.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
really
no
cool.
doubt. It's
Brotherhood.
great.
Yeah. And how cool is it that you came here and not only do you get to form new relationships
Mhm.
and have fun and enjoy a new place, but then you have so much success on top of it
For
too,
real.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm trying to think of a quote that I just blanked out. To be fair. I'm doing a lot of the talking over here. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, you told me to shut up. I'm just sitting here.
No, I'm kidding. It's also unique because you know all these things.
Yeah.
I feel like I am getting to know more
Yeah.
about Mason,
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
despite the things I already knew.
No, but it's true though. You come to a new spot, a lot of some risk. I mean, you take a leap of faith coming to a new spot, like you said you did.
Yeah, definitely.
But in addition to that, getting additional success on top is pretty cool. I mean, we won SECs. You made indoor nationals. Like, feels like a battle every single weekend.
Hmm.
But if you do, which I hope you do, take the chance to look backwards, you have in your small amount of time here already done a whole lot.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It's great. I think our sport is definitely one where you're never satisfied. There's always something more that you can do. There's always another PR you can
Yeah.
achieve,
Always
milestone.
end on a miss.
For him, yeah, always been on the miss. So, I still feel like I have more to give out on the track and more things to achieve, but it's also definitely I'm very appreciative, and I feel blessed that like you said, winning SECs was really amazing. Being able to do that with the team where we put so much in and doing that together is a really cool feeling. And then making indoor nationals as well is like definitely a big milestone and something that I'll probably look back on forever and say, hey, the work, there's something to show for the work, and
Yeah.
coming in and working all fall, definitely feel very appreciative that there's something coming out of it.
Yeah, definitely. And what a cool experience. Obviously, it's one thing when you do have the individual success because those things with the work and with the time that you put in, when it feels like it pays off, that's a really special feeling. But when you get to celebrate that within a team environment, it's even cooler.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like it's such a unique thing, and it's a feeling that really and truly like you soak up and hold on to for a long time.
Yep.
A very long time. You said something about your sport that I never thought of. It always ends on a miss.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've never thought about that before.
Yeah.
Yep.
For his event
With your
specifically.
specific event, yeah.
Yeah. So
Not sport, but yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, I'd say you get knocked down a whole lot in track. And
a lot.
And you get
A lot.
you get very small amount of wins, and they're huge, like in their own aspects. So like it always is enough to bring you back. But
Yeah.
but they're few and far between for sure. A lot of the season is it's a process.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know, building up to
absolutely have
the
to trust.
potential of what could be, which is a lot. Like, I mean, you fly to or use this example. They're going to Oregon this weekend. I mean, in a lot of training plans, you could go to Oregon just to try one little thing, and it's not it's whatever. It's a building process, and you go all the way to Oregon just to try something, and like not really results driven, but it's hard to fly to Oregon and enter the meet and be around all these competitors and like, no, well, shoot, I'm really only going from short approach working on this today. So then in 4 months from now, hopefully I can have it. It's like so much of a process. Like, I think that's something a lot of people don't realize is like, you get all suited up, go across the country for this big meet, and it's like, but if it's part of your training plan that you're at 4 steps and everybody else in the competition's at 10, it's like, you're going to lose. Or you're going to do something to learn, or you're going to make some mistakes, but they're part of your building.
That's so interesting.
Hopefully, and then but when you do win, it's really it's good enough to get you to come back. So
I mean it makes it that much more special
no doubt.
when you do.
When you do win, it feels because it's the accumulation of all this stuff that
for sure
you don't even really want to put into words all the time, but it's like that's what it takes. So.
It's so interesting, because all very different perspective. Because we were like 2 games a week, and obviously it's like y'all are a team sport, but you're also an individual sport, so it's unique. Where like soccer, obviously you have to be individually talented, but it's a team sport. And so it's fascinating because, of course, it feels good when you win, but it's a very different outlook on those wins and what they do, like fulfillment wise, for how much you're putting into it.
It's a crazy combo of both. It is interesting because look, like it's up to me to go do this for me, but then then everybody's got to be thinking that, and then we create a picture. But it's like, it's still got to be you, but then at the same time, it's still got to be. It's like a weird in the middle.
That's really cool.
No, it teaches you a crazy. I don't even know what the word is, to be honest, but it teaches you a crazy thought process or just appreciation of like, hey, if I don't take care of me and everybody's not taking care of themselves, we're not a team that's successful. And so it's like, it's kind of in the middle. It's completely in the middle. So
okay, you experienced both of those in college because football is more synonymous to like the idea of soccer that I was talking about. What was that like? I mean, not that you didn't even experience that in high school, but what was that like? Because I do think alongside other mindset shifts, that is one of those. Like you have to go from something that is, of course, you focus it on your own craft in football and your own talent, but it's very team oriented. Incredibly. And then you move into something where it's like, yes, you are competing for a team, but you're also competing for yourself. What was that like?
And part of my decision process actually for, transferring was I knew that I was coming from, this football team where things are super team oriented. So that was like actually something about A&M that mattered to me, and something I was looking for is that, and I think it's not always like this, like at a lot of schools, track is more of an individual sport. And, people are focused more on themselves than they are on the team. And so when I was looking for a school, I was thinking, hey, I really want a place where there's going to be a whole team of people where I can, I'm still going to be an individual, but I also feel like, there's people by my side supporting me, also striving to be their best, and we're doing it together versus just, a couple individuals doing it on our own. And so I think that's something about, this team that really mattered to me. And you'll see, later this season, we're going to have, at regionals and at the NCAA meet, we're going to have a ton of people there. And so it's not like that for every school. A lot of schools, only a couple people make it. So for us to have a lot of people there is going to be, you still feel that team environment, even though, not everyone can go.
And this outdoor is your last collegiate competition season.
Well, I have an indoor season, but we'll see.
Okay, that's in the decision-making process?
Yeah, well, who knows? I mean, there's a lot going on in track right now, so.
What are you doing right now in school?
I'm doing a master's in industrial engineering.
He says it like a side quest, but it's like a ginormous master's program.
I'm sure. I'm sure it is. Based off of what we know about him, And
it's
what?
always like, yeah, I'm just doing this like coding assignment for engineering masters. I'm like, sheesh.
Has education always been at the top of the list?
It's always been important.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, choosing Cal, a big part of that was the combination of excellence in both athletics and school, and that was a big part of the decision coming here too as well. It's like, I kind of at the beginning of my recruiting process, I kind of narrowed it down to only schools that had that combination. That were exceptional in both. And kind of that made it a lot easier choosing from there because that,
narrows it
not a
down.
lot of schools have that.
Combo, that's rare.
Okay. Same thing when it comes to, as an athlete, you get to a point and you get to an age where you realize that you have the potential to be a collegiate athlete. Okay. Also, there's not a lot of people who can do what you do, educationally speaking.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No, correct.
Mason.
No, that's not true.
It's like 1% from this
incredibly
group, 1% from the athletic
Mason,
group, and then it's like the combo.
Incredibly
of both.
true.
Yeah.
Okay. If
I
you
got a
threw
little
Carter
help
and I in
getting
one
in
of your
there
classes right
from
now, and we
sports.
tried to tag team it together, I think
His classes, we'd be fine.
You'd be fine.
We would be cooked.
we'd be
We'd be cooked.
You'd be fine.
shedding
You just
tears.
Industrial
You
engineering.
take a couple years
Yeah.
of math or
tech
something.
courses. No.
I'll just call Mason.
But when did you realize
Mason
that's a talent? That's a talent.
Excuse me, sir.
Same thing as having a talent for a sport. That's like a talent to be able to do
bro.
that.
Quite the
When did
combo.
you realize that?
No, I don't know if I ever looked at it that way. I think it's just, I've been placed in situations where, being at Cal, where it would have been dumb if I didn't really try and capitalize on making the most of the opportunity.
That's a good way to
So
look at it, yeah.
I think just doing my best, however good that is taking advantage of
Yeah.
Yeah.
the places I was. Yeah.
I think you're already doing that here too.
Yeah. All right, Mace, what are some of your future endeavors?
We will see. Well, Carter and I are currently working on a coffee shop.
Correct.
So
Co-founders.
Co-founders.
Yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully that will come through. And
This
we'll
is
be,
right here. This is a memory shot I'm
Thanks.
taking, by the way.
All right. Send it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see. Hopefully in a few months that'll be a great place.
Yeah.
We'll be co-founders regardless.
Yeah, guys. So how
Yes, no
cool
matter
has
what.
that been? You
Oh.
go from, you guys just, it hasn't even been a year. I mean, maybe a year since you hosted.
No.
Not
No.
even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hasn't been even a year since you met. You go from
Yeah, that is.
meeting, you host
Yeah,
Mason,
seriously.
you go to being teammates, you guys form a friendship, and now you have this desire to be co-founders
Yeah.
for a potential job opportunity.
Yes.
And
It's pretty
how
wild.
cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean,
It is pretty cool.
I would think we align on a lot of thoughts about just everything going on around us and the things we want to do and accomplish. And I think they can look like I think that it can be like a fill in the blank for what that can look like. It could be a coffee shop. It could be whatever. But, the ideas, the values, the want to do something different, the drive to do something different. And I think that's what we align on. So then I think everything else just opens up from there.
Yeah.
But
I love that.
For
it's been
sure.
cool. Yeah, it's been
You
fun.
guys both will be very successful.
Thank you.
I
Very
hope so.
successful.
So too.
Whether that's together
Yeah.
or something individually speaking, y'all will be very
thanks.
successful.
It's been fun. Even regardless of what happens, we're learning so much. We're actively doing stuff. I feel like we're in the right direction. And talk about this a lot. Like even if you, what you will, fail along the way in a process like this, like you fail forward in a lot of things we're doing. So even if this stuff we're working on right now was to come to a stop, during this show, like I feel like we would fall into another opportunity based off of what we have done
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah, no doubt.
Also, we've talked about how boring life would be if you didn't make mistakes or
Right.
fail.
And how boring
Absolutely,
it'd
and
be
take
if you didn't
risks.
take risks. Yeah, and just
Exactly.
send it with a friend of yours and just do whatever. But that's how that's how I feel about it. So.
Yeah.
I love that. We won't disclose any other information yet.
No, coming
soon.
soon.
Coming soon. Talk soon.
Talk soon.
Talk soon is crazy.
So
Talk soon's
Coming
crazy.
mountain.
No, guys,
Thanks.
I'm really excited for y'all. And seriously, what are you giggling at?
Please, nothing. Continue.
But anyways, Mason, we like to do this thing. Carter, do you want to explain it?
Oh,
We like to do this thing. Basically, just say, like, wrap up the show with a, I wouldn't say quote, but maybe quote. Something you
Tagline,
live by,
quote.
you know what I'm saying? Something you'd like to share. It could be something you've always said or something even in this part of your life right now you're sticking with.
yeah.
If you were to write something on the mirror in your bathroom, what you got?
Sorry, we really threw that.
No,
on us.
I
We
have
do
a good,
this
I have a
every
great
time.
one. No, so something
Figured it'd be good.
that my mom always used to say, and the older I get, the more I think it rings true, is that every day is a gift.
That's
so
written
I
on your
think-
fridge, isn't it? I think it is.
Yes.
Okay, stalker.
Sorry. I mean, their home fridge at home. Like,
Yes,
sorry,
yes,
continue.
it's on there, and she always says it. But I think, you know,
I
just,
love that.
Yeah, appreciate every day, live life to the fullest, and
Sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
She's very right.
Carpe
Every day is a
Absolutely.
gift.
absolutely,
Carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his parents are awesome.
they're
I've
amazing.
They
heard
are the
only the
greatest.
best things from Carter.
The biggest supporters.
Should we tell them hi?
Yeah, for sure they're watching.
Hi, guys.
So hello. Everybody.
We can go.
Hi,
we
Mason's
can go
parents.
with my parents to Honeyham
Oh yeah.
sometime.
Did I just
Yeah.
catch an invite?
No, he was talking to me.
You were nice. She was nice over the interview, so
Yeah, she
got
was.
an interview.
We'll send you to go order.
Yeah. You can
can
ship
wait
it back
outside.
to me.
Yeah.
No, Mason, you are so awesome. And really, you're going to do great things. Obviously, I pray and hope that this experience for you guys is filled with nothing short of the best blessings. But
Absolutely.
of course, I'll be a first customer if this all works out. But
well,
when
she
it
gets
all
the
works
invite.
out.
Just be nice to get the invite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got the
yeah.
invite to Honeyham. Don't push it. You can DoorDash.
But no, I really am very excited for you, and it's really cool to be able to talk to you and hear of all the things that you've done, and
Yeah,
you will
absolutely.
continue
Thank you
to
guys
do.
for having
Privileged to
me
be
here.
your
Big
friend.
things.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, and you killed the intro.
For real.
Do you want to try again on the outro?
What do I gotta say?
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want, however you want.
However you want to pull all of this into a
Okay.
conclusion. Yeah. All of these thoughts into
all these
Okay.
thoughts into one.
Yeah.
we'll cut it there.
we could edit
Yeah,
that one out.
We'll cut it.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
You guys
yeah.
are a mess.
Well, Oregon this week.
Oregon this week?
Oregon this week.
And then pin relays.
Pin relays.
Oh, pen relays are big time because
Mason's
that's
big
four
time.
Also
national
sprinter, and he's on the relay.
Mhm.
And then home in
for
3 weeks.
400.
On the short
4x1.
4x1.
Nice.
So
Yep.
keep that in mind. Home meet in 3 weeks.
Wait, before we
Home
close,
meet.
I need to ask some questions.
Okay.
Is this your fourth time doing the 4x1? First time doing the 4x1?
No, so I was on it last year.
He's a sprinter everywhere he goes. Yeah.
Yeah, Carter has also said you're incredibly fast.
We had a good team last
Yeah.
year. We made NCAAs as a team.
Nice.
So
Are you
Yeah.
excited
definitely
to do it
excited.
again?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
I'm
You know,
telling
now
you.
that I've got a little bit of experience under my belt, I'm
Facts.
Yeah,
And
I'm
if you're an
excited to do it
elite long
again.
jumper, I'm telling you, you will have to be an elite sprinter.
Yeah.
Or vice versa.
so fun.
Yeah.
And then aren't pen relays like what's most important for nationals, right? In a way.
They don't really
Not
have any correlation,
necessarily,
but they're
but-
Oh, they
it's a
don't?
big, it's a huge
It's a big,
meet.
maybe
definitely
that's
a
why
big
I
meet,
thought
and
that.
everyone's going to be there. So it's
Yeah.
kind of see.
Yeah.
You're going to see the same people.
Like a little
So
prequel.
Okay. Nice.
yeah, great opportunity to kind of
Yeah.
see what the field is looking like and who's going to be tough to beat and
Yeah.
Awesome.
where you're going to be.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you'll
mean,
do great,
everything
Mace.
stacks up towards nationals, but honestly, at outdoor, the only nationals is at the end.
Yeah.
Like there's
Yeah.
nothing that compares. You have to do it at the
You
end.
have to do it on the
anyways.
day.
Yeah.
That's what's
So
hard
the
about
pin
it.
relays, it's similar environment, all this stuff, but you could go break the world record, and then doesn't matter. You have to go do it
On the
at
day, you got to
yeah.
do it. So yeah,
So it low key gives you nothing to do it until nationals. Other
Okay.
than just
just
knowing
yeah,
you can do
just
stuff.
getting
yeah.
yourself, preparing yourself,
Yeah. Which it will
mentally
be
and
good. That's a
physically.
huge atmosphere, super cool meet. That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be great.
You'll do great.
So,
Yeah.
no
We'll be
doubt.
Hope so.
tuning in.
Are you gonna jump there?
I think so. Yes.
Heck yeah. Want to
Sweet.
go show us your form?
Celebration.
Like,
Celebration. Wait.
No, I need a new celebration. I'm
Mason!
lacking.
Mason. Okay. Go-to celebration as a receiver. If you scored a touchdown, what would it be?
Oh,
What was that?
That's his trap celebration.
act like you've been there. Act
Oh,
like you've been there.
Drop the ball.
whoa.
Hand it to the ref. Hand it to the
I
ref.
was
I'll give him a talk soon.
I've been in the end zone before. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, go.
okay.
Go
I've been in the end. Thank you,
clap it
sir.
up with your
Thank you, sir. I've
teammates.
been here before.
Okay, so you were more of
Nice.
like the go celebrate with the crew afterwards.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drop the ball, give it a little spin trick.
That's 15 yards.
No way.
Oh yeah.
What?
Such weenies.
To
Man.
spin the ball?
Yeah.
Can't do anything.
15 yards.
John Morant can't even throw a grenade into the stands. Where are we? Where
What
has
are we
sports
doing?
come to? No.
Man, he's creative.
Nah, he
Wow.
gets around anything. And $75K fine for shooting a gun. All right, grenade.
I want to get there someday.
You could
Get
do it,
that
bro.
level.
That's
SEC outdoors.
crazy.
Get out the pit. Ah. Okay.
Might get kicked off the team. Coach Henry, I don't know.
I don't know. Coach Henry.
I'm not sure Coach Henry would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
Don't know until you try.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a mindset.
I guess so.
That's a mindset.
That is a statement.
Hey,
That-
mindset. I don't know if it's a good one, but
That's
it's one.
That's one of the things to
Aw.
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
You guys are.
Okay.
Aw.
You wanna wrap us up?
Yes. Okay. Thank you guys for having me.
So
To everybody out there, remember every day is a gift.
nice.
And yeah, this was Behind the Number with Tech
Number.
Sags.
Yes,
Boom.
behind the bib.
Behind the bib.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
Oh,
Behind the
okay.
Behind the
Jersey.
uni.
Behind the uni.
Sheesh.
Love it.
Cool.
Mace, every day is a gift, and you were a gift today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming. Bye, guys. See y'all on the next episode.